How's it going, guys? Welcome to another exciting episode of comicgeddon, the 8th episode, in fact.
Where all geek culture collide.
And it's not just TV and comics anymore.
We're your hosts. I'm Shannon.
I'm Amber.
I'm Big Bird.
Keep going.
And of course, every episode, as usual, is brought to you by Geeking Out Comics, right here in this store at 2924 North Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Decatur, Illinois. It is also brought to you by
Rated D for Everyone Designs.
And Cornthwaite Lawn Care.
And we got it right this time.
We have a fantastic episode for you guys this week. We'll be reviewing Supergirl, Gotham, Lucifer, and Leagues of Tomorrow. I'll be reviewing...
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh my god, I told you I need my glasses!
It's Legends. You know what it is. She don't, obviously.
Legends of Tomorrow. And I'll be reviewing the Twilight Princess remake for Legend of Zelda for the Wii U.
I'll be giving you guys recommended reading.
And I'll be reviewing a much needed review of the Masters of the Universe Classics line from MattyCollector.com.
So get ready, because comicgeddon starts now. Alright, guys, this week we're working off a script, so bear with us. It's the first time.
I don't do scripts.
Especially for blind people.
Alright, so Supergirl this week.
Yes.
This was the 19th episode, second to the last episode of the season. It is entitled Myriad. The synopsis for this episode was that Kara must devise a way to free her friends when Non and Indigo employ mind control to turn all National City's citizens into their own army.
And what's really cool about this episode is the fact that for the first time ever, we've had the same three actresses who's played the same character of Supergirl on screen at the same time.
Well, they weren't on screen.
Well, they were in the same episode.
Yeah, in the same episode.
I mean, you had Laura Vandervoort, who played Supergirl in Smallville. You have the current Supergirl. And, of course, you have my favorite Supergirl, Kristen Slater.
Kristen Slater?
Kristen Slater.
Helen Slater.
Well, you know, they kind of mix and match.
I would like to see Kristen Slater in a Supergirl costume. No.
We saw him in a Star Trek costume. Why not? You want to do that one again?
No, we can just keep going. Yeah.
Helen Slater as Supergirl. Then anyway, they were all in the same episode. So,
Okay.
I think that was you now. This is your script, dude.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I did my part.
My review is a pretty good episode. They had John Jones reveal himself to Helen Slater's character. I'm completely going off.
Martian Manhunter.
That's pretty much how it was. He was a little kid, and then you might want to stand back.
Good night, folks.
So anyway, Helen Slater's character was basically acting like a little schoolgirl whenever
Good night, folks.
whenever John Jones was revealed to be a Martian, she was just so infatuated, asking him tons of questions. Superman made his presence felt, kind of.
But they still haven't really shown him.
Yeah.
Still
They showed him from the distance flying in, and as he came into National City, he goes down and joins the rest of the mind-controlled zombies. But overall, it was a pretty good
Is he
episode.
a mind control zombie now?
Yeah, because he grew up on Earth, he has that human mentality, so he was able to be mind controlled. Don't ask.
I don't get that.
So, yeah, I'll give it 8 out of 10 stars.
I'll give it 8 just because of the other Supergirls in it.
Next, we have episode 17 of season 2's Gotham. In an effort to clear his name, Gordon swipes his case file and asks Enigma for help, while Penguin learns his...
Who killed his daddy?
Exactly.
Because, you know, Shannon can't stop stuttering even while looking at the script, which is why he wrote the script.
It's helping, it's helping. Let's go to your line.
I know my line.
Do you? Do you really?
You bad boy. Edward, of course, is the one that framed Jim Gordon. This whole time for the last couple episodes, got Gordon thrown in Arkham, and while he breaks out, as we know, like you said, goes to Enigma for help, which is where he, with this tape, gets the tape cleaned up, and finds out that in the background of the tape, he heard a cuckoo clock, which is the same cuckoo clock that Ed has in his loft, and that's how he figures out it was Enigma who framed him. And I love the highlight of the episode for me though was the guy who plays Enigma always nails it out of the park. Best portrayal of the Riddler to date.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite character on the show, of course, is the Penguin, and he finds the little vial of poison.
You're dipping into my lines, man.
And I'll hand it over to Shannon because it's really exciting.
He finds a cyanide in which.
A bad boy.
He finds the. Sorry, guys. John's been making everyone laugh here.
Hey, I'm not holding nothing to your face, making you laugh. But I've tried.
I don't want to know what you're trying to hold to my face.
I tried, and you wanted to get a restraining order against me.
All right, so Pink.
He's stuttering, not gagging.
Oh God. On an unrelated note, I have a roll of duct tape in my car.
He's gonna put it over one eyebrow.
I should have taped his nose.
All right, guys.
That one was gonna be for that.
All right, guys. So in an effort to get this show on the road, I've taped John's mouth shut. So anyway, the Penguin found the cyanide in which his stepmother used to kill his father, and ended up feeding it to the family dog. So he discovered that it was cyanide, basically, and cut to scene, and then he's feeding something to his stepmother. She's asking where her kids are, and basically it's discovered that Penguin has become a very psychotic Cinderella. Now you may give us your take on it.
Need salt.
I mean, on this show.
I loved it. It harkens back to where in the comic books the Penguin's true nature is. I mean, he is known to be that sadistic.
Yeah.
And he wasn't at all hesitant to feed other people to his enemies.
I think that was left for like a Zaz and something like that to do, but
well, it's very, very Godfather-ish in a way, which is kind of the role Penguin should be playing in a Batman. It's more like a kingpin or a mob boss. So I loved it. There was nothing about this episode I really didn't like.
what would you rank this movie?
The movie?
I mean,
Batman Returns?
This show.
Oh. I was like, where the hell are we going? Where's that on the script? I'd give it an 8.5.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. So up next is episode 11, season 1 of Lucifer, entitled Saint Lucifer. Lucifer seeks to better understand a murdered philanthropist by becoming a benefactor to the man's Tony Los Angeles charity, whatever a Tony charity is. I don't know if that was mistyped or in the online, but we'll go with it. And I'm not going to switch scripts, so we're kind of going off script anyway. So.
Well, because I got ... So I'm assuming that's where I just stand here and look dead sexy, and you continue telling us about the episode. Something about nipples?
So anyway, not a whole lot happened in this episode, but what was discovered is that Lucifer is still immortal to a point. Whenever he's around the detective that he's kind of got the hots for, he starts losing his powers. That's why she's unaffected by his charm. I have a feeling that where they're going with this is that she may be a descendant of Christ, which would explain why she's immune to his.
The last scion.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
I think she's the last scion.
But it was a pretty good episode. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
What he said.
So, next we got Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Amber called it League of Tomorrow.
I don't have the glasses. Come here, Brian.
Tomorrow's episode of League of Legends.
I didn't really care too much for this episode. It was okay, but I'll let John do the review of this one since.
For the most part, it was a slow episode. I mean, it was the town, the town in the Old West that they were at. I can't, and I have to go back and rewatch the episode, but I want to say it resembled very much the town, the Old West town that was visited in an episode of Sliders. So I have to go back and rewatch.
You think they would have
I think
kept
they
the
kinda-
sets and everything for that long?
I think they used, they might have, depending on if it was Universal or not, where they filmed it. They might still have the sets. But regardless, the episode was cool. The highlight for me was they had Jonah Hex, which was a much better representation of Jonah Hex than the crappy movie that we got.
See, I actually liked the movie, so.
You like Hooper too, so.
I like what?
And this Jonah Hex, because Jonah Hex doesn't have superpowers.
Right.
He doesn't. But he has traveled back and forth through time, which they hinted very heavily at in this episode.
Yeah.
So
Well, they didn't hint that he's traveled through time. They hinted that
he knew about time travel.
they said that Rip Hunter had been to that time before, and he knew about
So
time
he knew
travel.
about time travel. So we may end up seeing time travel Jonah Hex next season, maybe then.
Maybe. Who knows?
So
What would you give the episode?
I'd give it a decent 5, maybe 5.5.
I'll do
It wasn't
5.
the worst episode, wasn't the best episode.
Yeah.
Kind of middle.
I did like how they had Captain Cold as the sniper.
Yeah.
He was pretty good. So, did you watch? Was there an Agents of Shield?
There was an Agents of Shield.
Did you watch?
I did. Not a whole lot of reveal. We got basically the big highlight of the episode was shut your bad mouth up. Was at the very end we have Daisy saying, let's call forth the Secret Warriors, which is what they've been assembling this whole season, pretty much. And we got more Wade, or he's not Wade anymore. He's Ive, an Inhumans character from the comics, and he actually revealed his face to members of Hydra. We got to see the back end of him, so we still haven't seen the face of Hive, but
So,
I'm pretty sure it's coming.
So we're seeing him from behind.
We're seeing him from behind, tentacles and all. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
I give it probably 5.5.
All what he said because I didn't watch it. But we'll be back with my recommended reading, and then we'll be going to Amber's gaming review, and then John's toy review.
I have the power.
All right, guys, welcome back. This week I am reviewing 52 Aftermath, The Four Horsemen. Currently I have issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 of 6. I'm missing 5 of 6. But basically, this takes place right after World War III, where Black Adam goes crazy and begins destroying the planet and killing everyone. A nation is bringing back the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse, the planet the Darkseid is from, and they begin battling with the Trinity: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Let's see, Death takes over Superman, Plague takes over Wonder Woman, and Famine takes over Batman. each hero is able to stop him, but it's revealed at the end of the story that Batman is actually still possessed by famine, even though he's in control. Basically, he says, how soon can she get this nattering thing out of me? Wonder Woman's like, out of you? Yeah, Yurt, which is the name of famine. Superman's like, Yurt took you? Tried to, how soon? And anyway, one of the ladies off to the side says, your hunger is greater than yours. That's almost funny. Superman's like, hunger? You're hungry? Batman's hungry? And Batman's just basically like, there's more than one way to be hungry, you know. His hunger is for justice, not food or blood or whatever. This is one of my favorite stories. It really shows how much of a badass Batman is, really. Because Superman and Wonder Woman have these powers, and they're struggling to battle the Horsemen, but Batman just basically invites Yurt famine into him, and just kind of, it's like, okay, this guy's annoying, but he's not taking control of me. So, yeah, if you can find it, give it a read. They've got the graphic novel for it. If you can't find the graphic novel, pick up all 6 issues. Like I said, I'm missing issue 5, so I haven't read it completely through. I've read most of it, but so next I'm going to turn you guys over to Amber, who's going to give her gaming review.
Hey guys, so I get to do game reviews. This is going to be the new segment as part of the show. Joining me is Jeff. He's part of Speak Geek to me. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
Okay, so this week we are actually going to do the first game review on a remake. Remakes sometimes get a bad name because of Hollywood, but not all remakes are bad. This game debuted in 2006 initially it was for the GameCube, then it became for the Wii. Have any idea what it could be?
I'm sensing a bit of a Zelda theme here. Which one?
I'm gonna say Contra.
I don't know where you got Legend of Zelda came from. I'm only dressed like Zelda.
Donkey Kong.
Close, very close. And we're doing it on Twilight Princess. We have the game, since you see that. And then also with the remake, you could also get the Twilight Princess Wolf Link and Midna amiibo.
Fancy.
So you played the original one, not so much the newer one because you're not cool like the rest of us.
I don't have a Wii U, I have a PC.
I think that's just an excuse. So what did you think of the original?
Well, I originally did play, I think it actually been on the GameCube. It was alright. And then I tried a little bit with the Wii, which was kind of weird with the Wiimote, but you know, kind of got me up off the couch and moving, so that was new.
Yeah.
It's got a Mario sticker on it.
Okay, so what was the cons like you were saying when it came to Twilight Princess for the GameCube / the Wii, since you played both versions?
Well, I mean, it was. What was the question?
The cons, like what didn't you like about the game?
It wasn't Ocarina of Time.
Well, it's hard to outdo Ocarina of Time. But like you mentioned the motion control, you didn't really like that. Thought it was kind of thrown on there.
That was kind of weird. I didn't think it was completely necessary. I mean, if you have something on an older system and then it's kind of like attacking 3D onto a movie, it just didn't feel necessary.
Okay, what about graphics? What would you rate the graphics at?
Decent for a Nintendo game, but still not that great.
Gotcha. Well, luckily in the HD version they fixed some of those. In the original game for the GameCube and the Wii, some of the cons that critics found was that you're right, that they said the big complaint was that the motions were tacked on. They didn't feel like it was really necessary since, you know, GameCube you used the controller. Now you had to pick up a nunchuck, and the actual controller, which was in 2006, was a foreign concept. Most of us like relaxing on the couch, not swinging a Wii remote with a strap, because it says on there, you know,
especially if the strap comes off, and then suddenly you have a nunchuck in your TV.
Yeah, that's a bit of a delay on that gaming. The music was actually uploaded in MIDI format, which they thought was unnecessary. If you're going to spend money on this new console, it needed to have the updated on the music. The HD fixes a lot of these problems. You have the updated in the graphics, so it's not as bad textually. You can still see some of it, but it's not as bad. The music is a lot better, and the controls are not as forced as they once were. However, with that, you can see some of the flaws in the story. It doesn't really sugarcoat it as well as it did when it was like, oh, it's for the GameCube, it's fine, it's the Wii, it's a new format. While it is a very good game, it doesn't live up to the hype as being the best in the series, which when it originally debuted, a lot of people said, I think it was Informer and Retro Gaming gave it really good reviews as being one of the best in the series. If I had to rank it in the series, I would put it...
I'd say it's a solid 3.
I would say 3 or 4 in the series. I mean, because you have Ocarina of Time, you've got Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword was a 4, easily.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that above Twilight Princess either. But then you have some of the originals. You have Hyrule Warriors, which is actually a pretty good game. It doesn't really follow the actual storyline, but when they came out with the Historia, they kind of tacked it on as trying to bring all the universe together. So as far as the new remake, I would give it a solid 7.58 out of 10. We've now gotten 2 different remakes for the Wii U, and I'm waiting for a brand new game. I don't really count Hyrule Warriors. They've been promising that new game for what, 6 years now?
It's been a while.
And they still are yet to deliver. So if I were to rank this game, I would give it a 7.5 out of 8. Just because it is a remake, so it doesn't get a solid 10, because remakes, while they do take a lot of work, you're not really involving the story, you're just kind of updating the graphics, updating the music, which sometimes shows its flaws. So it's a 7.58. Behind us here, if you're kind of wondering what the background is, if you didn't know, The Legend of Zelda has a manga, which is really good. They just actually released the Twilight Princess manga volume, February. It's not March anymore. Then we've got a wood burning of Princess Zelda, because you can't tell, kind of a fan. And then there's the collector's edition of the strategy guides that I don't use. It literally goes into the box.
What's in the box?
Nothing now that it's empty.
That was in the book.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of, but I kind of want to read that.
I can't really read that
Hey,
one.
listen. Do you think if Link played Link played WoW, do you think he'd roll Horde or Alliance?
Horde, obviously.
Alliance is better.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be Horde.
He was a wolf. He's basically an elf worgen.
But didn't the orcs ride giant wolves? Orcs?
What they do in their spare time is what.
He's got blonde hair and blue eyes.
So is a blood elf.
Which is Horde. Speaking of Alliance versus Horde, next week for our game review, we will be reviewing Warcraft Tides of Darkness. Now, I know that this is a game that is over 20 years old, but just because we're doing game reviews does not mean it needs to be new. If you have a game review you'd like us to do, just comment below. Sometimes the oldies are better, and the younger generation definitely missed out on a good game when it came to that.
So dust off your copies, and we'll see you next week.
And if you guys want to see more of Amber and Jeff on the show, give us a like, comment, and we'll have them back.
Welcome back. Woo! We got books covered. We got video games covered. I got your toys and action figures covered. First up, we've got Masters of the Universe Classics. Back in 2008, Mattel decided to do MattyCollector.com for the sole purpose of taking the original vintage Masters of the Universe toy line and giving them an all-new update with very similar look to the vintage figures, but with more updated articulation, such as bending at the waist, hips, twisting, elbow joints, wrist joints, ankle joints, and awesome accessories like the original sword. Of course, this isn't He-Man. This would be the evil robotic counterpart, Faker. But he was available in the original 2008 toy line. Of course, we have our other favorite classics like Orko here, who, as you can tell, is a lot different than the, and I'll show you here, different than the vintage figure, because the vintage figure didn't look anything like his animated Filmation cartoon counterpart. This looks dead on Filmation. So, and they wanted to introduce new characters that weren't available before, such as this guy here from the 2000X He-Man Animation Universe TV series that was debuted on the Cartoon Network. So, and again, these things come with a lot of articulation and a lot of cool accessories. So now that's the plus side to the MattyCollector.com site. The fact that these are, were available. The downside, well, the site has come over some big controversies over the years. So the biggest one being most recently, they released a anti-Eternia He-Man action figure, which is an all pitch black He-Man with red hair, red sword, and accessories. He's the evil He-Man from a different dimension that was introduced in a German Master Universe comic book. While these were supposed to be available for subscribers to the line, they didn't make enough, and this allowed scalpers, which has been a big issue with this line, to buy up all these figures and sell them for hundreds of dollars on eBay. So, but other than the downside of this and sometimes shipping issues, the figures again are amazing. The articulation, and of course, I want to show you here on camera. You can see the paint jobs on these things are amazing. You can see cracks in the armor. You can see wash on the loincloths, and look at the different color silvers on the wristbands. So, I mean, and you still have, if you look really closely, those who are familiar with the line, the original line, you have the robotic sticker underneath the armor, which is also removable, just like the original vintage line. It's a line that if you could go on like Amazon or eBay and get them for like $30 or $40 now, they originally were anywhere from $20 to $30. Definitely pick them up. You can get your favorite character like He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman, Evilman. Harder ones, more expensive ones to find would be Fisto, Shadow Weaver, which goes for, and Tila, which go for hundreds of dollars because of scalpers mostly and low production rate. Check them out. Check out MattyCollector.com for more details on when the figures are available. They do subscriptions. They've also started doing the new Thundercat, all new Thundercats line, which debuts later this year. They had the rights and did new Ghostbuster action figures. If I had some of these, I'd love to bring them on the show. Maybe somewhere down the line, I'll actually pick one or two up and show you. But my main thing, and always has been since I was a kid, was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So it was fitting that that was the first toy review that I decided to do for the show. And though I don't have He-Man or any of the awesome like Skeletor or Beastman characters with me today, Faker's always here at the store, to fall and spike people's head occasionally. Check them out. It's an awesome line. If the site was a little better, I could give it a 10, but because of issues that they've had, I'll give it a nice solid, 8.5, 9, somewhere around there. But the figures themselves are definitely a 10 and definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of vintage action figures and a definite fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Check them out. We have here an awesome contest for you. Right here at Geeking Out Comics, 2924 North Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, in Decatur, Illinois. We've got Batman Year 3, Parts 1 through 4. The significance, the first appearance of Tim Drake, the third Robin. Though he's not Robin in this, but we do get his first appearance. And you can own these awesome issues for free. Would you like to know? Would you like to know how?
Yeah.
Would you like to know how? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Here's how. Come into the store. Say, hey, I saw this episode. I saw the contest rules. How do I win these? Say you watch the show. I'll give you a slip of paper. You put your name in. Live next week on the show, we'll pull a name. And there you go. The announcement of the winner will receive these 4 issues absolutely free.
Didn't you want to say something about all the dislikes we've gotten since we started the show, John?
So some ass clown decided every week they're going to do 5 dislikes on the series. If you dislike the show, that's fine. We're okay with that. You're watching the show at least. If you like it, you're liking it, giving us thumbs up, even better. But if you're disliking the show, by all means, please let us know why you dislike it, why you're not a fan of the show, although you keep watching it every week to dislike. Even better, we will welcome you onto the show and discuss why you don't like the show. We just want to know what we need to do to get better. What you like on the show. What you
And
don't
if you're
like.
just doing it to be trolls and kiss our ass.
I think they want to see you naked.
If you like this episode of Comicgeddon, feel free to give us a like, share, and hit that sexy subscribe button down below.
Not this sexy subscribe. The one at the bottom of the screen.
Not that one either.
He's off limits.
No screen resolution.
And
picked up.
don't forget to head on over to our Facebook page and give us a like there as well. The link will be in the description.
Link to the past.
Yeah.
You're hard.
It's cold in here.
So put on all your clothes. I am getting so cold.
We're waiting on you. You're supposed to scream applesauce, bitch.
I'm supposed to scream what?
Applesauce, bitch.
I'm supposed to scream what?
Applesauce,
Scream
bitch.
What? You want me to say it? I'll say the damn line. I'll say it right now. Oh, hell yeah. Applesauce, bitch.
We're instituting a height requirement next week.
I think that's good.
They want me to give them applesauce.